Hey guys, it's Chris, the Tiny House Guy. Got a construction update for you on Black Friday. And we had some issues last week. We had leaks actually, and I wanted to make sure I had solved them before I kind of gave you an update. And most of the leaks were around seams, of course. And so I've done some work to make these seams a little more waterproof. First thing you'll notice is down here. You can see I've added some, this is just aluminum, standard aluminum channel. It's angle iron that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. And I got it screwed in and it's RTV'd in place. It's kind of close up. And then I've done another thing on these edges, because these edges actually are collecting a lot of water. So what happens is water runs down and beads up underneath and wicks inside, which is a big problem. So I bought some of this stuff, which I've used on other projects. It's basically just an angle iron. Let me just do the normal zoom here. So basically just a piece of angle iron. You put some, bead of RTV inside. And then on the bottom, there are these there's screw holes. You can drill more holes. And then there's this little piece of plastic which sort of slides in there to cover the screws over. So I've installed this on the sides and RTV'd it in. You can kind of see the RTV bleeding over there, but that's good because you don't want it to leak. So there it is on the side. And then I did a really cool thing here where I sort of notched it out and bent it around the corner so it looks all nice and pretty. And you can see that, yes. So there's that. And then one of my other leaks was this window. I did a really bad job installing it, and so I had to redo my work, which was a real pain in the ass. So that is that. So I got these seams are very waterproof now. I actually had some big rainstorms and we tested them out. This window actually went in pretty well. It was no trouble, no leaks. Let's take a look on the roof. I did have to apply another layer of, I used Flex Seal for the roof, which I'm not sure how good that's going to be, but we're going to find out. And then what I did yesterday was I've installed these. These are mounts for the solar panel. So it's basically just this is a piece of aluminum. It's 1/8 inch thick aluminum. It's a 5mm screw. It's been tapped. So this is basically like a big nut, and it just is screwed down to the roof. It's all sealed up. And then the solar panels are going to pop on top of all these. Each solar panel has 6 of these. This is 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4 panel. So we'll have 400 watts of solar. I probably will do another coat of Flex Seal once I am comfortable with that. I don't know if it'll be this now or next year, but we'll see. So that's that. Let's go inside. Done some cool things here. So first thing you see is cardboard down to try and, I live in a wooded area, and so I'm tracking pine needles in like crazy. This board is for something else. This is basically the shower pan, which you can see is a piece of plywood with Flex Seal caulking in the corners. It's been coated with Flex Seal. I've got it screwed in. I have to do another coat of Flex Seal. This isn't the final one. This is sort of a primer coat of Flex Seal. And I've got some routed things in here to let the water sort of drain towards the middle. I still haven't put the drain in, and I will do that at some point later. This actually, the edge of this actually is the doorstop on the bottom. I have to put more door stops, but so when you close this, it's actually hitting up against that shower pan, so it makes a real nice, secure doorstop. So let's go inside. We started putting some insulation in. And so you can see, I actually have a picture that I took. I'll insert it somewhere here in this video. Basically just using the foam gun, which is Great Stuff Pro, which is what I used for oops, sorry about my finger. Not a videographer, you're gonna have to deal with me. So basically you put a bunch of that stuff on the wall, and then you glue that in, stick those in. They're not loose fitting and not really tight fitting, but they're kind of snug, I guess, is the best way to say it. Some folks are still asking about the construction methods for my framing, so let me give you a better close-up of this. Let me go back to my zoom. So these are these threaded rods. This goes all the way to the outside. It gets nuts on this side of the threaded rod, and then there's nuts on the other side of the threaded rod. So this rod's under tension, and everything was assembled like that. And then when I was done, these still could wiggle if you hit them real hard. And so what I do is I stick a couple of pocket jig screws in there, just to, not so much for structure as it is just to make sure stuff doesn't move, that's all. So that's that. And then this was cut out using, I just used a saw blade on my table saw. I don't have a dado blade, so I just made like 3 cuts and then took a chisel and chiseled it out. And this is, you know, a tiny bit thicker than the rod. So it's like maybe 3/8 of an inch deep channel. If you're building your own, you can, that's what I used. So things are going well, I'd say. 5 minutes and 14 seconds, so I don't think I've rambled too much. I would say the recommendations for coating on the outside, I don't think I'm going to recommend Raptor liner, because I don't think it is flexible enough for a camper. I think you want to go with, I'm kind of leaning towards Flex Seal, because it's really inexpensive. You know, you can get a spray can for, I don't know what, 10, 12 bucks. And so repairs in the future will be real easy. They do make it in white, so if you want to do your camper in white, you could do that. I don't know about UV stabilization on the Flex Seal. I don't know how it's going to hold up, but there are some videos on YouTube that do show people using it on the roofs of their campers and, you know, rolling it on, and it's held up fairly well. So, and it's so cheap compared to some of the other coatings that, you know, you could almost coat it 3 times in the time, you know, you could buy the expensive stuff and pay 3 times what you would for Flex Seal. And so if you got to do it 3 times, who cares? And chances are, I think it's going to hold up probably better. So anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.